So most of my friends will be joining us. They own a business. That's cool.
That is amazing. Well, I think Miss Shannon just logged on from her phone. Sorry, I know we had some technical difficulties. All of us did.
Oh my goodness. Thank goodness for the phone and the tripod, right?
Oh, I know. Well, I think, you know, since we have everybody here, I'm just going to hit record. And I wanted to use this and put this on the Stay Social YouTube channel. And if you guys want to use it too, please feel free, just because I think it would be like a conversation piece. You know, because it is Earth Day, I think that, you know, women are amazing, number one. I know you guys all know that. And, you know, the four, like Rhonda, Bridget, Sylvia, and Shannon, you all three have a very strong, unique message and character, and in a good way, you know, for you guys to spread awareness on everything that you do. And I love you guys. I love working with you guys personally and professionally, and I've worked with all of you guys professionally. So I think that you know, I've learned a lot in working with you guys, and I want to thank you for your time for doing this today, because you know, I think that we're getting into the digital world, and you know, we need to do more things like this. I think that a lot of people online already have more conversations like this, but I think that, you know, we should keep it up more in South Florida, and just really, you know, just to highlight, you know, good women speaking real facts, and, you know, just getting, you know, down to the things that a lot of people don't talk about, that a lot of people you know, but that they talk about with their friends, you know. So I just want to introduce you guys just to the people who are joining us. And first, I think that based on the healthcare and longevity topic, I asked Sylvia to be a part of this. She is a director of SWVT, which is Southwestern Vocational Training. Her school is in North Fort Myers, and she has had her school for 11 years. And, you know, because of everything that's going on with this coronavirus, I was like, we need to talk about this. And she reached out to me and asked for help to spread the message on a campaign, healthcareneedsyounow.com, which is a website that Stay Social helped her put together to help promote free scholarships in a kind of like an online portal where community and business members can, you know, put their message out for anything healthcare related that they're putting out there, such as a discount or, you know, etc. And then Bridget Hill is over in Delray, but she works in Palm Beach at Paula Breck's Salon. She's a celebrity colorist and a certified trichologist with the World Trichology Society. Did I get that right?
Yes, yes.
And I've been working with Bridget for about over a year now, and you know, I've known her for a little bit longer, I think, and I have been personally amazed as somebody who has been, you know, a beauty fan, just to learn more about the scalp and how that has to do a lot with the health of your hair and your well-being in general. She's going to talk a little bit about that, and recently had a Vogue article that I wanted her to talk about. What a perfect time. Everybody's very, you know, handling or dealing with stress, following stress. So, you know, I just wanted to give a little bit of insight on that, and any tips you can give us to, you know, live stress-free. And then I'm going to go into Rhonda, who is all about self-care and skincare. And I have been doing a lot of that, you know, more recently. And I think that it's good because Lord knows we need a little bit of something to just keep us, you know, happy and feeling good right now. So, and then Shannon Livingston.
Nice segue.
Last but not least, she is the coordinator of agricultural help at FGCU, and she has done an amazing job. I can't wait to hear more on what that has come to as of right now. I know Florida recently passed a law, and I want you to talk a little bit more about that because you would probably know more about it than me, and what that really means for the future of medical marijuana and healthcare in general, and just a little bit about CBD. So I'm going to pass it to Sylvia, and we'll start with you. Now that I introduced you, can you tell us a little bit about, you know, the importance of healthcare right now, and like as women, how mentally important it is to, you know, be aware of healthcare and longevity, and, you know, for our friends, ourselves, and our family.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sylvia Dorisme, and I am the director of Southwestern Vocational Training. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you, Monica, for putting this together. So talented. She's been working with me on the Healthcare Age Now campaign. That you're seeing online has been produced by Monica, so I just want to say thank you for putting that together. I want to send a special thank you to the healthcare professionals out there. So if any of you guys on here are healthcare professionals, lower level, upper level, thank you so much for being on the front line for all of us. We appreciate you. So as Monica said, we started a campaign. First, I want to touch base on the importance of healthcare, of mental health for everyone. When it comes to mental health, what I have learned over the years is that it doesn't discriminate. It's important that we take care of our mental health, whether we are handling a heavy loads of business activities. Personally, mental health is important. It doesn't discriminate. So we have to take care of ourselves. It's essential. You've heard this saying before that you can't really pour from an empty cup, right? So I think it's essential that we take care of ourselves mentally. What I do personal level to take care of myself is I take at least 1 to 2 days a month where I pour into myself. That means I wake up in the morning, I don't do anything but take care of me. I make my coffee, I make beautiful breakfast. If you follow me on social media, you would see how I post my breakfast on Sundays. I love to treat myself at least once or twice a month. And that's how I'm able to refresh and regroup, so that way I can carry on to take care of my staff, my 7-year-old child, and my friends and family. So mental health is incredibly important. Now, we all deal with mental health differently, right? Right now, let's think about our healthcare professionals, right? They should be so stressed out right now, homeschooling their child, still having to go to work. A lot of us were really blessed that we get to stay home, to work from home. They don't get that option. They get to go to work and they get to take care of the kids if they're parents, right? So just imagine what they must be going through right now. And I have talked to my alumni, my students who are graduates now, they're active in the healthcare field. I check in with a few of them. For instance, I spoke to one of my students, her name is Claudia. She's a medical assistant. She graduated from one of our programs, and she's working at a healthcare facility right now. And she happened to email me and asked her, "How are you doing? How are you taking care of yourself?" And I think she was surprised that I asked her that question, because I don't think many people ask her that question. And she says, I just get up every day and I do my best. Am I scared? Yes, because I have a child and I'm afraid that I may get this terrible virus and and something might happen to me. So a lot of them are afraid right now. And my advice to her was, hey, listen, it's okay to call off one day if you have to just take care of you. So my advice for mental health is put yourself at least one day of the month, put yourself first. You have to take time to take care of yourself, pour into yourself, read a book if you have to, take a day off where you don't do anything, you lay in bed and you just binge and watch TV all day if you have to. We live in this society where everybody wants to win, and life moves fast, and we all care so much about success, and success is a beautiful thing. I love being successful. I aspire to be successful, but we're so caught up in this lifestyle where work till you pass out. No, you have to take care of yourself, and that requires you to take time to do that, at least once or twice a month or more time. For me, once or twice is sufficient, because I am a mom, I'm a single mom, and I also run 2 businesses. So that's what I do. In terms of healthcare, healthcare is essential. We see the quality, we see necessity of healthcare with everything that's going on with the coronavirus. And if you didn't appreciate healthcare professionals before, I hope now you do. And if you're still thinking about becoming, or if you ever wanted to become a healthcare professional, I hope the situation didn't scare you away because it is a great field to be in. And I'll wait for Monica to ask me more questions about the Healthcare Needs You Now campaign later, where I will elaborate more on how we put together this campaign to help our community.
Yes, yes. And can you talk a little bit about what you think the future of healthcare should be in terms of, just like, can you talk a little bit about the demand or the shortage in healthcare professionals right now and why it's important for, people to help spread awareness in the community for the campaign?
That's a great question, Monica. This morning I received this email from a hiring agency, employment agency from New York. And the demand for healthcare professionals is just, oh my God, I can't even explain. They're in great need of healthcare professionals. That email I received, they're offering a great benefit package for people who are patient care tech, people who are nurses. There is a huge shortage. Right now, I think, according to the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are expecting a 14% growth for healthcare professionals from now until 2028. And according to them, I believe that translates in almost 2 million, like 1.9 million jobs. That is incredible. And healthcare, as you know, it grows faster than any other industry. So don't expect the shortage to be resolved anytime soon. And that's why, as a school, we feel obligated to jump in to do our part. And that's the reason why we created the Healthcare Needs You Now campaign. And Monica, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and elaborate a little bit more on that campaign. So when the coronavirus situation occurred, we felt obligated as a school to jump in and do our part. And so Healthcare Needs You Now, that campaign was created for three purposes. Believe it or not, there's a huge economic impact on our students ever since this started. And we found that a lot of students couldn't pay their tuition. We also had a lot of interest in our programs because obviously there's a lot of inquiries for jobs and Lee Health, excuse my language, Lee Health, who is a big player in town, they are hiring like crazy. So we had a lot of students calling. They want to come to school, but they didn't have the money. So we wanted to do something to help them. And part of that campaign, the primary purpose of that campaign is to provide opportunities to students who are interested in entering the healthcare field to apply for scholarship so they can get an opportunity to go to school. So that's the first purpose. So anybody who's interested, they can go on there and they can send their names. When we receive that inquiry, automatically we know that they're interested in a scholarship. So we get them we send an email to them to apply for it. We are selecting one students for each program throughout the rest of the year to give them a scholarship. It's going to translate in thousands of dollars. We estimated almost $80,000 of scholarship that we'll be giving from the school from now until the end of the year.
Wow.
And we're okay with that. And if anybody's interested in offering a scholarship, they're able to do that as well. The second purpose of the website was to create a platform where business owners can go on the website to post available resources for healthcare professionals. So let's say, for instance, Carrie, who owns a t-shirt company, she wants to offer, 20% to our healthcare professionals. Well, she'll post that on our website, and it's totally free. The whole platform is free for everyone, for our students, employers. It's totally free. And it's available to the public. So then she can post that on there. She can post that flyer on there or that special on there. Our students will have access to it, as well as the general public. And then finally, the third purpose of the website was to create a platform for healthcare employers to post potential jobs on our website. So if you are a healthcare employer, let's say you own a clinic or med spa like that, and you're looking for a medical assistant or healthcare professional to work in your facility, you can go on that website. You can post that job posting, and it will connect the students to your post that you may have available on your website. So again, we wanted to create something that will not impact just our students, but the whole community at large. And we're very thankful for that. So thank you for putting the campaign together again, Monica. And if anybody would like to learn more about it, you can visit our website, which is healthcareneedsyounow.com. I'll put that in the chat when we're done here. And we encourage you to go on there and explore and see what's available to you.
Yes, thank you, Sylvia. That was awesome. I want to transition into Shannon Livingston because we might come back and swing a question to you, Sylvia, but I want to talk a little bit about, well, Shannon, first introduce yourself, tell us about you, and let us know about what you think about the future of healthcare and medical marijuana, and then you can go into a little bit of, you know, like the beauty and wellness that, you know, comes into it, and maybe like the new laws that Florida passed and what that means. Maybe explain that to us a little bit.
That's a lot. I'll try. So my official position right now at FGCU is I am the agricultural hemp program coordinator. And that means that I am literally putting together a program for the students, our regional farmers, and our local businesses to be able to really learn how to grow hemp, how to process it, what products can be made with hemp, what the supply chain looks like. And FGCU as a regional school is also very focused on workforce. So what we're doing will involve some research, you know, in the chemistry labs, but really a lot of it will be workforce related. So I'm hoping to also add a veteran component to that. You know, I always try to help out my vets, and this is a perfect industry for them. It's a brand new industry, which is so exciting as we figure it out. And we're also hopefully helping our regional farmers that, you know, have struggled so long with citrus and other issues, and our local businesses. So that is what I formally do at FGCU, and very excited to do it. And of course it fits in on Earth Day, because anything that you can make with plastic, you can make with hemp. And I truly believe that hemp is changing the world. And hemp is just cannabis that has less than 0.3% THC. So it is the same plant essentially as medical cannabis. Medical cannabis, I think, is changing healthcare not on its own. I think it's more of people are taking responsibility for themselves. They're acting in a way that is more preventative than treating. You know, I think it's a generational thing as well. The younger generation is more informed as to where their fruits and vegetables come from. It's just, you know, there was a point in time when everything was convenience and value, and everything was in a can, and nobody questioned that. And that's kind of how I was brought up, which, you know, thankfully my mom can't cook, and so I think that canned food saved us. But you know, it's not healthy, and so I've had to learn really what live food is. And you know, I truly believe that our bodies want to heal themselves, and we just have to let them do that. And you know, that way of thinking goes into longevity and, you know, aging well, and just being our best selves, what we're putting into our body, what we have around our body. So I think medical cannabis, you know, it is legal in the state of Florida. We do not have home grow. However, we have changed our program, and now we do have flower. We have different, you know, methods of ingestion. You don't have to smoke your medicine. We are not seeing cannabis being used or recommended as a preventative method right now. However, CBD is. People are getting really educated on CBD and how to use it. And I don't know if Rhonda's going to talk about that later, about how she's incorporating it into maybe some of the treatments that she's doing. But you know, CBD is both good for inside the body and outside the body. So, you know, topicals, facial treatments, things like that, and also ingesting it can help with overall wellness and well-being. Did I address most of your questions? I don't.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That was really good. Can you just tell us about like the new law that passed, and if you think that means anything for like healthcare?
On hemp, are you speaking about the USDA passing the local or the state program?
Yeah.
So the federal department, or I'm sorry, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs, led by our Commissioner, Nikki Freed, and our Director of Cannabis, Holly Bell, they submitted Florida's plan to be able to have a hemp program, and that needed federal approval, and they did just get that a few days ago. So they will be taking applications for cultivation. They have already been taking applications for permitting for retail sales and food sales, things like that with CBD. And now they'll be doing it for cultivation. And it's, you know, it's really exciting. Even if you don't want to grow hemp, not everybody's gonna, you know, have a couple acres of hemp. But as a consumer, no matter what you're using CBD for, I think people can feel better now with new regulation that their money is going to be well spent on a safe and effective product. I've seen way too much of the other in the industry. So I'm very grateful for the work that's been done toward regulation so that we can have good products out there.
Okay, yeah. And I was talking to Bridget about this yesterday because I saw like they are starting to make CBD and everything, like in shampoos, conditioners. I mean, we knew about like the topicals and the material, but
I think some of that is marketing. You know, I mean, when you really get into the neuropharmacology of how cannabis works, you don't need it on your pillowcase. You know, I mean, we're starting to see it everywhere. And while part of me is glad that it is becoming mainstream and part of the conversation, you know, we have always in the industry and as advocates had a tendency to overpromise, and it takes away our credibility. So, you know, when you're looking at CBD products, please make sure that you are looking for lab results. It should be tested. They should offer you those lab results. You know, look for where it comes from, what kind of carrier oil or what kind of delivery it's in, and make sure that it is a registered product with the Department of Agriculture.
Okay, yeah, that's good stuff. Because like I know the reason why I wanted Rhonda and Bridget to be part of this is because like it's really important for me to, you know, use kind of like either medical grade products or organic, you know, health and beauty things. Like Sylvia and I were talking over the weekend. She was like, oh, I'm doing an oil mask. And my sister took a knot out of my hair this big, yes, or on Monday, with olive oil, you know, like these natural things. And,
right.
You know, a lot of people can do it with either things in their kitchen, but at the same time, like, I want to know about like, you know, what should we be putting into our hair? And then, Bridget, maybe you can talk a little bit about this. You know, tell us a little bit about hair, scalp, healthcare, and introduce yourself first.
My name is Bridget Hill. I am a certified trichologist and a beauty professional. I divide my time between Palm Beach and New York. And just to kind of back off what Shannon was saying, it is a lot of the hype of marketing and beauty. And the basic thing is always going to be about reducing inflammation. And if there's a result of a CBD or any type of these plants that are around us that reduce inflammation, that's going to give us a health benefit to our overall well-being with hair and scalp. I think, you know, the overgeneralization is probably the biggest challenge, is because the beauty market is a business that uses our lack of understanding what we need individually. And so we are always just looking at this external shell to be like, well, her hair looks like this, your curl pattern looks like this, her hair is fine, she uses this, where the reality of all our hair health, and Rhonda, I'm sure you deal with this as well in your practice, it is so individualized. And I think that is where we have to begin the conversation, that what works for one doesn't work for all. Our beauty is going to start from our internal makeup. As Sylvia was talking about, the reduction of stressors, giving self-love. It's a combination of factors. And where I am in the marketplace is exciting to see that that is finally taking off in a very a fashion way. Health is not sexy in the beauty market. You can't sell be stress-free. You can't you can't just use this one shampoo. You can't have a sound bite. That has always been the challenge from anyone that approaches beauty from a holistic perspective. So it is an exciting time that customization and tailoring beauty is where products are going. And then someone as myself, as a trichologist, or even those of us in the field, are taking time to really break down those internal health underlying issues, those topical habits of what you're doing or not doing. What is your mental well-being? I was just on another Zoom earlier where the conversation was all about spirituality and beauty, and just your energetic field, which is fueled by our foods, our thoughts, and also how we treat ourselves. So this is an exciting time with all these components happening. But I think the most important thing is to remember that don't get caught up in the bite of this is the new fix all or cure all. Anything that reduces inflammation is going to have an impact on your overall health and your beauty.
Yes, and Bridget, and I, just a side note, she is on her site, scalptherapist.com. She is doing virtual scalp consultations right now. So she has a survey that you can fill out before having a consultation with her, which is very customized, very individualized. And this is, what she was going back to talking about when it comes to, like, it's not about one size fits all. Like I was telling her about my knot situation, and my little sister is probably laughing in the background because, she was the one who had to spend an hour dealing with that. But, like my mom, she has really thin hair, and like in this area, you could see how she, has thinned out. And my hair's, I feel like because of stress and owning my small business, I'm 27 years old, but I feel like I can start to slightly notice that I'm getting like less hair, and there's nothing scarier for me in the world because I don't know, like I guess it was fuller when I was younger. And what is most important about this is it does have to do a lot with your mind, the spiritual aspect of how you're feeling. And that's what I'm learning to understand, which is why nutrition is so important. And I have been eating better for like the past 2 months. I mean, a lot better. And I have noticed a difference in the condition of my hair. But what about like collagen supplements? Like that's something that I recently bought at Costco. And, I've been hearing all about collagen and it doing good for your nails, your skin, your hair. So I've been taking a little bit about that. But is there anything specifically that you do that is generalized for people that can help with hair growth? Because I've heard these rice water fertilization treatments, and I will probably be one to do that. But is there anything like natural or something that we can do as a whole to help the condition of our hair?
Well, the first thing is everything starts internally. So things that you're dealing with your hair is a non-essential tissue. So once your hair starts being impacted, that means the body is like, I need something I need something. Your hair is a non-essential tissue. It does not need it. You don't need it to survive or to be healthy. That's going to be the first thing to go. So if you're dealing with thinning, it could be deficiencies, like you were mentioning your diet. It could be the beginning of some true health issue or concern that's going on. So again, when I speak about these topics, I try to watch my words very carefully, because whenever there's a hair issue, there's a health issue. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's something tragic or extreme, but there is some imbalance there. There are some products on the market that I have, promoted for years. I myself am probably predisposed to a condition we call CCCA, which affects women of color. And it's anyone that has any African genealogy or DNA in their body. A lot of women of color deal with this issue where they have these massive balding spots that typically start in the crown of the head. That does run in my DNA. I also am susceptible personally to self-induced stress, alopecia. So I get bald spots when I am highly, highly stressed, and not even always a bad stress. It could be just busy, active, all positive things happen. So I can walk through my personal routine, to use as an example where I feel more comfortable, but to say that, yes, first, there are things on the market. Sometimes it's intake of vitamin D deficiencies. There's also our iron stores, which is our ferritin levels that most women have never even heard of ferritin. Those numbers as we get older start to decrease with all women across the board. And those are typically the first signs of how just you're like, oh, I'm aging and my hair is getting thinner. 9 times out of 10, your ferritin levels are below what they need to be to have the optimum hair growth. When doctors look at our blood work, they're looking at us at our function for just to be healthy humans. And I'm looking at it for the superficial part of you wanting great hair. There are these ranges that are so wide. And a lot of times for hair, you have to be on the upside of those ranges. And just going through menopause, stress, pregnancies, if you had to take antibiotics, had minor surgeries, again, all these triggers can impact how those levels are impacted, and the body is always going to take from the hair. With that said, science has, as a trichologist, we stand behind a concept that we know there are benefits in a lot of marine life. So there are 2 supplements that my society and that we stand behind. One is Vivisol and Norcrin, which are hair supplements. Pretty much they are dietary supplements, and they are not vitamins, because you do have to be careful of your vitamin intake. You can create toxic reactions in your body that can then lead to hair loss and brittle. So that is why I measure my words so much when we speak about this, because it is so, even I want that one solution. I want to take something one time, be done with it. And that's just not the reality of how you're going to deal with the issue. It's typically comprehensive. So because I know what my blood levels are, because when I do my annuals, I do get those things checked, because I feel like I need to be able to talk about it from an honest place. There were times when my vitamin D was low, and I know that my onslaught of my alopecia areata was higher, because we know that vitamin D does counteract thinness of hair if you are truly deficient. So before you start popping things and taking things, you do have to be very clear of what your body is needing and requiring. The hair supplements have a lot of these, these ingredients in them, or minerals and nutrients, but they also have science-based marine extracts that we know impact the development of hair follicles, as well as strengthening the development of hair protein. We don't know why. The scalp is such an understudied organ of the body, and is just becoming something that's being done because it is an epidemic across culturally, gender, age. So now that I think, more men are starting to really get into it, the scientists are really having fun with really testing these, finding some solutions, because the hair shame conversation is no longer a big deal as it was before. We were always embarrassed to talk about like losing hair or thinning hair. So we externally deal with it, cover it with there's so many options, and great, from wigs and pieces and sew-ins, and there's just so many external fashion ways to deal with it, but no one has really dealt with those underlying issues. Supplements are a great way to give you that boost, but that boost is not going to work if you are not sure of what the underlying cause is. So that is hard to say there is like, oh, just do this. A pre-scalp treatment or getting into proper scalp care is the one thing that we all can be. And that's just changing how you cleanse and manage your hair. Our hair is fiber and fabric. It's not meant to be cleansed like your carpet or your towels. Our relationships with our hair is we treat it as if, we go to hair when we want to feel good about ourselves. your hair is almost, it's like an expensive piece of fabric. It's your scalp that really needs the attention. So I would say by just getting a proper scalp routine into your hair regimen is the ideal way to go. Again, I still make those customized because what you're using is going to depend on your ethnicity, your hair type, your texture, and your hair habits. So any scalp care, that's becoming a big buzzword now in the market. And I think there are some great products out there that anyone can create their own scalp routine. And I'll be more than happy to assist anyone with developing that for themselves if they were interested. But incorporating proper scalp care before you're cleansing or shampooing your hair will make a big difference in just for the general public.
Yes, and if you guys want to take the survey, I left it in the link. I guess we gotta fill that out for you in order for you to tell us more. And you know, I think that this is definitely something that I have been doing at home. You know, like I was telling Sylvia about the scalp massage, like how I do it to myself, and it reduces stress immediately. It feels like I did yoga or if I did meditation. And it's important because we're all kind of dealing with that right now. Can you also talk a little bit about the stress topic on the Vogue press mention that you?
Oh yes, so Vogue was interested in addressing, you know, it's making a connection with how stress impacts the hair and our hair follicles. And the baseline is this: cortisol levels they lead to high blood pressure. So when you have all of this inflammation, it's all about inflammation once again, you are sending all these signals out into your body to, again, go into a defensive mode. And anytime your body is in a defensive mode, your hair is going to be impacted. So what we were doing, we wanted to say, like, so what are some ways or to make a connection between your hair care and your stress levels and your scalp care? Monica, you mentioned massages. The head is one of the most undertouched parts of the body. You know, we don't spend time, we like use lotion and we'll massage our feet, we'll kind of work our hands. None of us really touch or massage our heads. You have to get those muscles fired, and you have to get that blood circulating. So a proper scalp treatment, massaging, you are getting those muscles to work, so there's more blood circulating throughout the scalp, as well as you're encouraging cellular turnover just by kneading that head. If your scalp feels very tight and taut, that means that it's not firing, it's not getting anything that it needs. So we also talked about this more self-care, and I know another buzzword that we're all talking about right now, but it is important. And that self-care aspect, I think we sometimes make it so esoteric and mystical, when really it's just being true to who and what you are at any moment in time. Sometimes you've got to shut down. It doesn't mean you have to have some, you know, outrageous beauty routine or do something that's so out of the norm, but you do have to have a time where you allow everything to decompress. We don't realize how our heart rates go up. We don't realize how just in our normal living, there's a disconnect between our true spiritual, energetic routines and how we think we're living and being. And again, it goes into proper prepping your scalp before you cleanse it. Those aspects are the ways that with stressors, when you do that, you are connecting to your head because you're forcing yourself to take the time to put something on your scalp, to massage it in. It's a ritualistic based thing, but those types of rituals are really what beauty is about. We have these rituals in going to the hair salon, but we don't have the rituals that we bring into our home is the same way we clean our kitchens or wash our clothes and make it part of our garden, you know, water our flowers. That part of our scalp needs to be part of your hair ritual as well.
Yes, and thank you for that. Going over to Miss Rhonda to tell us a little bit more about self-care and skincare. As I mentioned, I've definitely been needing and doing a little bit more of that. I know Rhonda recently put up a DIY maca hemp mask on her YouTube channel. And, you know, just like things that you have at home or you can order from Amazon to like the one she created, like it could last you a year as an example. But Rhonda, tell us a little bit about, just what we can be doing at home as women to treat ourselves a little bit, whether that's with skincare or makeup or anything related to your field.
Thanks. Well, first of all, thank you, Monica, for putting this together. And I just want to say that this girl is stretching me beyond all kinds of things, which is good because I try to do it to other people, but you don't usually get it done to you, but she's doing it. So she's awesome. And all of you girls here, I'm so happy to meet you. And everything you have said has just been so true. And everything that I believe, Shannon, especially with the hemp and the CBD, and I've always been about, God and his word. And he says, let food be thy medicine. And I've always believed in that. And that has been one of the best things that I've added into my treatment rooms is the CBD oil in our massages and our facials, because this was about a year ago, but it was all new. I was probably one of the first ones to do it, and it was a little scary because, I didn't know if the county was going to be like, do that, anyway, so, but it's okay. I found out and it's all good. But I do agree that it does help with, hydration and inflammation, and it helps with wrinkles. And I put it sometimes even raw directly on my skin. I carry a full spectrum CBD oil, but then our products are from another company that that spas utilize. So as far as the home routines, I would say, because I know you talked to me, Monica, about tips on aging gracefully and things like that. First of all, we know that we can't look like our 20s anymore, and that's not what it's about. So we age like a fine bottle of wine, right? So it's all about everything you all have said, Bridget, Sylvia, about taking care of yourself, living stress-free, doing the things that make you happy, taking care of how you eat, your mental health, like you said, keeping your stress down, and finding out what are the things that bring you joy, And during this time with the coronavirus, at first, I had a lot to deal with the spa. Was like, what was I gonna shut down? Did I have to shut down? When to do it? How to do it? And working through all that. So that has been very stressful. And making sure that I know this is getting off the topic, but making sure my employees were going to get paid, and it's just been every day a battle, like on TV. So, but for me, I can honestly say that I'm like taking the time away from the day-to-day business operations, and I've been able to, like Monica said, go through and do the things I like, making my own stuff. I like making my own products. Yesterday I made my own lip balm. I've been wanting to do that forever. I've got the little tubes, and I got the wax and all this stuff, and I added CBD oil to it, and it was so easy. And I want to teach people how to do that too, because I think it's fun if you like that kind of hobbies. And the other thing is, just drink plenty of water, because that's so important, and staying active, exercising, walking, hiking, traveling. Well, not now, but whatever you can do to make yourself happy from the inside out, And as far as a routine, like you said, Bridget, it is different for everyone, Of course, there are the different skin types, 4 different skin types, and there's also what else was I going to say? Got off track here. That happens when you get overweight. You lose your, like,
Oh,
what was I doing? What was I saying? Just if you have acne, if you have rosacea, there's different things you can do, and there's different things you not to do, and there's different types of skin: normal, oily, dry, combination. So you're exactly right, Bridget. It's kind of like a customized thing. So I do recommend, if you have an esthetician or know someone, it's worth going for that. You just to get a free consultation as to do what things to do, so they can get you under the magnifying lamp and what to do to fix things, you know. So anyway, a basic morning routine would be wash your face. You got to wash your face, you know, be it with a gentle cleanser or a heavier cleanser or whatever it may be. Then you want to add, you know, some type of antioxidant, you know, which again, you know, the CBD, the hemp, that's an antioxidant, huge antioxidant. And, you know, so I would suggest a vitamin C serum. If you can do 30%, that would be the best kind. And then from there, you want some kind of boosting thing to boost collagen, because our bodies are made up of 70% collagen, and we lose it as we get older. Every year you lose it. So you want to do all the things that build the collagen. So going back to what you said, Monica, about some kind of skin collagen drink or supplement works too, to help that. And foods you eat, you know, the proteins. So a collagen boosting thing might be like some kind of like serum, like a hyaluronic acid, or, and also, you know, the hemp CBD that does it too, you know. And then from there, you want to put like, you know, a moisturizer and then a sunscreen, you know. So that'd be like your morning routine. In the evening, it's similar, except you don't use your vitamin C at night. You would do like a, more like a retinol or something like that, or retin-A or tretinoin. If you have like bad acne, you use it a couple times a week. So like I said, it's all customized based on, you know, the person.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, guys. I think that, you know, like in tuning everything you guys said together, like I think that overall, like you know, like starting from Sylvia, like your healthcare is everything. Like that's the foundation of, you know, our longevity. And, you know, like I know that as CBD and hemp, you know, this natural ingredient is, you know, just researched a little bit more. We're going to see it a little bit more in everything. And I just can't wait until it gets more mainstream, because it really is, like I was talking to Sylvia, medicine for some people. And, you know, like Sylvia, I don't know if you want to make a comment about that, but
Can you hear me?
yeah, if you want to talk anything about the future of like healthcare and medical marijuana, and you know, just any points on that?
Yeah, well, I don't really have much to say about that situation. When it comes, we know it's legal in Florida now. There's a lot of great use for marijuana in Florida and all over the country. Sorry about that. I apologize. Oh my God, I apologize for this. It's a very controversial situation, as we all know. You know, some people agree that it's legal, others don't. I am for anything that improves our healthcare system. I am for anything that makes us better as a society. And as long as it's being used for the right purpose, then yes, go for it. Now that it's legal, the future of marijuana, it's going to become normal. In the next 5-10 years, it's going to be a normal thing where you're not even going to hear much about it anymore. It's going to become part of our normal healthcare treatments and care. So I don't have an extensive knowledge of what is going on, because I know that they recently passed some laws around it, and I haven't had a chance to really study it, so I don't have a lot of knowledge on that. But I am for anything that is improving our healthcare system, and the legalization of marijuana is something that I have agreed with. I mean, it is controversial. I do have some personal disagreement with the whole idea of use for it, but if it's gonna help us with our illnesses, it's gonna help our elderly population, it's going to help us, then yes, anything that is in the line of improvement, I'm for it.
Yes, awesome. Well, I want to ask a question to all of you guys, because it is 1:59 and we're almost done. But I just wanted to ask if you guys could give us one sentence on like a takeaway for your own industries that can, you know, help us or inspire us, you know, when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to scalp when it comes to skincare, in terms of, you know, just how often we can be using it, or any of your personal advice in terms of why you do it and why you think others should, you know, just keep it in mind.
Should I go?
Yeah.
It looks like you got us perfectly outlined here. So from my personal point of view, healthcare is important. Or not self-care, I'm sorry, healthcare is important, as you know. And it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. If the economy is crashing, whatever's going on in our world, we need healthcare. And taking care of ourselves is so important. Bridget stated something earlier about doing her annual checks. And that is something that I find that a lot of women don't do. We don't go to the doctor normally to do our annual checks. And that is a big mistake. Last year, or actually 3 years ago, was one of the first discovery where I had an issue that was going on with my body that I didn't know. But that's because when I was younger, I didn't really believe in going, you know, to the doctor often. And I didn't used to go to my annual checks. For 3 years now, I've been pretty consistent. And I encourage women to do that. I go to my annual checks and I ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. When you go to the doctor, as we age as women, our body, it changes, okay? So it is important for us to ask questions when we don't feel normal about certain situations. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be proud. We have a tendency as women to work. We put everybody else ahead of ourselves, but then we sabotage ourselves. So I encourage everyone to do their annual checks, ask questions, and take care of your mental state, as I mentioned earlier. So in addition to doing my annual checks, I do my twice a month self-care, as I had mentioned earlier. And I'm a believer in God, so I'm a believer. I believe in God, and I take my devotions very seriously. In the morning, that's the first thing I do. Do I do it every morning? No, but it's a habit where majority of my mornings I connect with God. That is so relieving for me. It is a necessity in my life. So take care of yourself spiritually. Take care of yourself in terms of going to the doctor annually, wise. And then, of course, like the other lady said, with your hair and your skin, all of that is part of healthcare. And the future of it isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's improving. So stay well, be well, and don't forget to put yourself first, at least every now and then. Do it for yourself.
Awesome. Shannon, what about you?
I would just say take responsibility for your own wellness, and that is really what hemp and cannabis allows us to do. And that is mentally, physically, spiritually. And I do believe, again, that hemp and cannabis allow us to do all of those as well. And so I think taking care of ourselves instead of taking care of problems, you know, trying to do things in a preventative way and work toward wellness instead of perfection or treating health problems after they arise is really what we should all be striving for. Easier said than done, but I'm glad to hear that you're eating better, and it sounds like, you know, you really have a great team of people around you that are helping you to do exactly what I just said. So that's great.
Yes, thank you. You're teaching me too. Bridget?
I would just say be gentle with ourselves. Even as, you know, we are getting so much information. I feel like in a month, I have tried to have become a tech crazy person, you know, like just be gentle. Beauty is just a reflection of what is really happening inside. So as much as we're giving information and we're exchanging this amazing information, be gentle. Take it easy and be gentle with yourself. And slowly you learn to find those rhythms that it will work for you. If your intention is there, you will put it into your practice, and it will happen. You know, it doesn't have to be an immediate gratification. And be patient, because nothing worth having and improving our health and our well-being is going to happen overnight. There's no one stop, one fix. So be easy, give yourself time, And blessings and light to everyone out there and their families as we are going through this crisis. Rhonda, I know you as a professional, your coworkers, your team. This is a path for us in our profession that, you know, we touch people all day long. So how we, you know, that's something that I know I'm missing, and that interaction of touching and feeling. And I don't even know when or how that will ever be my reality again under these conditions. But, you know, I like to believe that we are all, you know, we all will come out of this on the other end, understanding and seeing our ways as professionals that we never could even imagine of how our professional lives would go.
Yeah, thank you. What about you, Rhonda?
I would say that, you know, just having the wisdom to know yourself, really know yourself, and figure out how to stay in tune and living a balanced life, you know, and living it to the fullest, doing things you love, and taking care of yourself, like everyone said, so you can have the physical and mental health to enjoy it.
Yes. Yes, and I'll say something too in regards to what I do. Like, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you guys for getting out there. I mean, it's as I encourage myself and encourage you guys, it helps me too personally. But with what we do and what we know we have to share and help, really, it truly, I just want to encourage you guys to keep showing up online, just because, you know, like I was listening to Kris Jenner the other day. She was talking about how your niche on Instagram really shows you who your support group is, and the people who they're gonna come to us whenever they do, you know, like, so that's why, like, even with clients right now, it might be a little scary financially, and just not knowing, you know, just everybody feels the same unknown pressure right now. So I agree with Bridget when it comes to, you know, being gentle with myself, like, so that I can be gentle to others, because, you know, it's good to be mindful of everything that everyone is going through right now. So I think it's really a really good time to be talking about grounding yourself, rooting yourself, not just because it's Earth Day, but, you know, it's a weird time that everybody's going through together. So all we can do is make the best of it. And at the end of the day, the more we do put ourselves out there and bring value, it's going to come out. It's going to come back to us slowly but surely. So, yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys. It's already almost 2:10, but I wanted to thank all of you guys for watching. And if you guys have any more questions, please let me know. There's the links for Healthcare Needs You Now and Bridget's Scalp Survey. I'm going to leave Rhonda's website as well, so that you guys can check out her products. One of the ones that she didn't really talk about was a serum that she has that she gave me, and I've been using it, and I've been noticing the difference in my face. It's supposed to be like, you know, just like a liquid version of like a little facelift, or getting like, you know, like fillers. And I've never had any of that done to my cheeks, but, you know, it really does feel tighter. And I don't think you can ever be too young to prevent, you know, like whether that's skin or hair. So I want to thank you guys all so much, because I learned, and I'm once again gonna send this to my friends and family, and once I have this on YouTube, I'll send you guys the link in case you want to send this conversation to your friends. And I want to thank everybody who used their camera. You guys are all beautiful, except my sister, who she's probably working and listening. But thank you again. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thank you, Monica.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, family.
Yeah.
Bye.
You guys have a good day. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.